Ayo, what's good? Just watched the finale of Season 3 and I want to talk about it, so let's do that.
Listen to me. Just listen.
Now, this season of Invincible has been the season of crash outs. Everybody has been going absolutely wild. The villains, spoilers first of all, just spoilers right here at the beginning. So, the villains, Angstrom Levi is back. He has been on demon time and he actually gathered other Invincible variants from different dimensions, brought them to Prime Earth and let them wreak absolute havoc. I think that was in like episode 6 or something. Moving on from that, we have Powerplex, this kinda villain. I struggle to call him that, but he teeters more towards that end rather than the anti-hero one. But I would actually rank him as the number 1 crash out of this entire season. And he has like what, only 2 episodes in the limelight? And even more than that, I actually think that his ideology informs the key theme of this entire season. I will be getting back to that. Heck, everybody has been crashing out that even Dr. Seismic got his lick in. And yeah, the crash outs are not even limited to only the villains. The heroes have been going crazy too. Mark and Cecile went at it again. Mark's kid brother Oliver, who calls himself Kid Omni-man, well, I mean, if that's not foreshadowing enough for the crash out that you're about to witness, I don't know what else to tell you.
That's what happens when you're a bad guy.
We even got an Atom Eve crash out in this season. So everybody has been throwing hands, and of course the ones who are most affected are those who are caught up as collateral damage. We actually have a saying in Swahili that fits this to a T. It goes something like fahali wawili wakipigana, nyasi huumia. And that is quite literally what goes on in this season, leading to what actually set off Powerplex to begin with, and what is arguably the core theme of this entire season.
Why does never pay for his crimes?
Are heroes accountable for the deaths that come about just by them existing?
He can't keep getting away with this!
For anybody who's read Marvel Comics or watched Civil War, well, that is the entire basis of the Sokovia Accords. Come to think of it, this same theme has actually made a resurgence in Daredevil Born Again, this time tackling a theme adjacent to the first and asking the question, should a hero take up the responsibility of permanently stopping a villain who endangers the lives of civilians? I mean, you see that right in the pilot. Again, spoilers this time for Daredevil as well. If you haven't at least seen the pilot, well, yeah. Right at the beginning, we see that Matt Murdock is actually contending with the idea of ending Point Dexter right there and then, and he actually does try. In Invincible Season 3, we get to see that theme toyed with a lot. Like, pretty much every other character has a hand in this theme, and with the level of unboundness that the writing of Invincible actually has, you kinda do see the point in it. I mean, I am a huge Batman fan, I am a huge Superman fan, more Batman than Superman, but that's besides the point. Anyway, whenever you're reading the DC comics, whenever you're watching any of the animated movies or animated series from the DC side,
luckily, I'm not you. And I never will be. You're right about me. I would never put civilians in harm's way. I won't kill.
You see that these heroes can actually find a way around the problem without actually ending the lives of the villains. However, in Invincible, it's just not as cut and dry. You see, the penultimate episode of Invincible Season 3 ends with the arrival of Conquest.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
And the entire finale is basically Conquest absolutely dog-walking Mark and friends, at times even quite literally putting him through the paces that Omni-Man put him through in the first season. This man basically pulls out the same Omni-Man moves again, which again forces Mark to contend with the main themes of this season. And whilst Mark's Invincible has been sitting on the fence on this entire debacle, his brother Oliver, well, he kinda made up his mind a long time ago.
Do it! Kill him! Before he escapes or something! Kill him so he can never do this again! What are you waiting for?
He's out of line, but he's right.
That kid is on demon time. That kid is ready to unalive you at a moment's notice. He will end your live subscription in a literal heartbeat.
That's what happens when you're a bad guy.
And just to bring this back to Powerplex, as much as he does a ton of dumb stuff and the things that he does to actually get his revenge, which quite literally end up going south in the worst way possible, you begin to question whether he truly is right about. Like, you truly start to question, would any of this be happening were it not for the existence of? And you really do start to see that, even if unintentionally, carries a lot of vicarious liability and actually agrees with it.
But shouldn't I be seeing stuff like this? Shouldn't we really understand the consequences of what we do? That guy today, maybe that's because of what my dad and I did to someone he loved. If he had hurt people here today, wouldn't that still be my fault?
If we're being completely honest with each other, this is one of those topics that never truly has an easy answer. I'm actually kind of questioning if it ever has a right answer. Because for sure you would want to believe that taking the moral high ground would be the correct thing to do, but at the same time that may come with a very heavy consequence attached to it. And then again, if you decide to play God, if you decide to play judge, jury and executioner, then it is so easy to lose sight of the line that you've just crossed, and it just ends up becoming an entire mess in and of itself. But for us, that is exactly what the comment section is made for, so you guys can go crazy down there. What do you think? Do you think that heroes should have the power to actually take the lives of the villains? And I know that most of you will say that yes, they should, granted that those villains are also taking the lives of others. But then again, how sure are you that that's exactly where the buck will stop? Which actually leads us to another conflict within this season, and that is the conflict between Mark and Cecil, where Cecil operates under the ideology of
we can be the good guys, or we can be the guys that save the world. We can't be both.
Mark is very much against that, and some may argue that it is a very naive standpoint. But we can see where he is coming from, and at the same time we also can see where Cecil is coming from, as this is the very first time in this entire show that we get to see a backstory of Cecil. So again, there goes something that you guys can go crazy about in the comment section. I will be looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. With these themes underlying this season's storylines, I think this has been a very strong season of Invincible. I give it a solid 8.5 rating, and I mostly dock off that 1.5 because of a few criticisms over the animation that I personally have. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but ever since that scene in season 2 where they explain how animators get around production of certain scenes where they have resource or budgetary constraints.
You ever notice that sometimes whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you never see their lips moving?
Huh, I didn't notice that.
I tend to see it everywhere, especially in this series and especially in this season. So, Invincible Season 3, did you see it? Did you like it? How do you rate it? And what are your thoughts on the themes that I have brought about in this video or any others that were brought up in this season? And are you on the same timing that Battle Beast and I are on, cause we simply want more?